Good afternoon, dear students. Today we will discuss about the topic of the epithelial tissue. But before discussing this topic, we will discuss about some general terms. First term is the cell. What is the cell? The cell is the basic building block of the body. It means the life that is start from a single cell structure that is known as the cell. That's why cell is known as the structural and functional unit of the life. All we have know that the first cell it was discovered by the Robert Hooke. He discovered the cell in a cock cells and actually it was a dead cells and its structure like that of the honeycomb appearance we have discussed it already. So next when the cells they get combined to form a new structure that is known as the tissue. It means what is a tissue? Tissue is a group of the cells that perform a particular function. After the tissue, there is a next structure that is known as the organ. Or how organ is formed? When the different type of the tissues they get combined to form the structure that is known as the organ. And when different organs they get aggregated, they lead to the formation of the system that is known as the organ system. And in the organ system, various types of system like digestive system, excretory system, circulatory system, respiratory, so many systems are included in this category. And after the compilation of these organ system, fully formed organism or the body is formed. So these are the some important terms related to that of the what is cell, tissues, organ system or the organism. So our main topic is that of the epithelial tissue. As we know that there are the two types of the tissue, plant tissue and second one is the animal tissue. And in the animal tissue there are the further four more types of the tissue. First one is the epithelial tissue, second one is the muscular tissue, third one is connective tissue and fourth one is the nervous tissue. Our topic of the discussion is the epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue means the outermost covering. It is the outermost protective and covering tissue of the body. Every part of the body is covered by the tissue. As you will see your face in the front of the mirror, you will see that your whole body is covered by any one tissue. That tissue is known as the epithelial tissue. And muscular tissue is that type of the tissue which helps in the movement of our body, like the ligaments and tendons or muscles are there which help in the movement of our body. And third one is the connective tissue. Connective means which helps to provide the joint or the forming the connection between the different types of the organs or the body parts. It provides the support. It is the protective in nature. And next one is the nervous tissue. Nervous tissue, it helps in controlling and coordinating the whole body functions inside the body. It means that it includes the nerves or the brain parts is there which help to control and coordinate all the activities inside the body. So our main topic is that of the epithelial tissue. It is the outermost and most protective covering tissue of our body. Every part of body, जो भी हमारी body का कोई भी हिस्सा है, it is covered by this type of the tissue. Where this tissue is present, it is present in the heart, kidney and in the lungs. Barrier, it also acts as a barrier. Barrier means कि when it forms a connection between the two types of the different types of organs and it allows only the selected material to pass from the one system to the another. On the basis of the layers and appearance, the epithelial tissue it can be further classified. So first on the basis of the appearance, the epithelial tissue is of the squamous epithelial type, cuboidal type and the columnar type. Squamous epithelium, as you know that columnar simple squamous epithelium is that type of the in which the cells are lying this type. Squamous word, it is a Latin word which means the squama. Squama, it means the scales of the fish. As we have seen that the fish body is covered with the scale and that scale is related to the word that is known as the squama. Otherwise, and secondly, this tissue is also present in the endocardium. What is endocardium? It is the innermost covering of the heart and it is also present in the lining of the lymph and in the lining of blood vessels and in the lungs of alveoli. And where what is the function of that covering there? It increases the permeability of the cell. Permeability of cells means it helps to provide the exchange of the material between the different types of the cell. It means it also acts as a barrier. Barrier means it allows only the selected material to pass from one cell to the another. So this is all about the squamous epithelium. First of all, what is epithelial tissue? It is the outermost covering of the body, and it is the most protective and supportive nature in nature, and whole body is covered by this type of the tissue, and it also acts as a barrier. It means that keep the different body systems to separate from one another, and it provides a connection between the one cell to another or from one body part to the another. Heart, kidney, tubules and the lungs, these are all organs which are having the epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue, it is forming a outermost covering outside the cells, and it is also forming a inner covering also. It means it is forming the outer surface as well as the inner surface of the cell. And second type is of the cuboidal cells, cuboidal epithelium. Cuboidal epithelium, as the name is indicating, that the cells are of the cube shape. As you see, can see that these are the cells which are the cuboidal in shape, and this is also of the two types. When the simple cuboidal epithelium is that in which the cells are of the simple cube shape, and in the stratified you will see that when these cells are present in the different layers or in the different pattern arrangement, this is known as the stratified cuboidal epithelium. And third one category is the columnar epithelium. You can differentiate between the cuboidal as well as the columnar epithelium. As in the columnar epithelium, cells are the elongated or the column shaped. As you can see that there is this type of the pattern also is there. Some cells which are broader at the base and they are narrow at the top, and some cells are narrow at the base and they are broader at the top. So the cells are wider at the bottom. It is known as the faking type of the faking, means it is also known as the pseudo stratified epithelium, means it is present in the layers but it is not a true layering arrangement. And it is where it is located, it is present in the lungs and in the cilia, stratified. Sometimes you can see that in these cells this type of structure are there. If there are microvilli like structure, it means they help to increasing the surface area for the absorption, and if they are the smaller in structure, they are known as the cilia in the nature or ciliary movement they are showing. That's why it is known as the ciliated columnar epithelium. And where it is located? It is located in the lungs, in the alveoli, where it is known as the pseudo stratified columnar epithelium. In the skin, squamous epithelial cells where are present? They are present in the skin covering many layered stratified squamous epithelium. It means all the cells, you can see that this is a simple epithelial tissue and they are lining on a single membrane. That membrane is known as the basement membrane. And when you will see the surface or the sides of the any epithelial cell, this is the apical surface, this is the basal surface, and this one that is known as the lateral surface. So the simple squamous epithelium cells are present in the skin, and they are many layered because the skin is as we know that it is not a single cell structure, it is a 7 cell structure. It means in the unicellular organism, single cell structure is there, and in the cuboidal epithelium it is present in the kidney tubules and in the ducts of the salivary glands. Where it is the meaning of the function of the cuboidal epithelium? They help to provide the secretes or the secretion. It means the some gland like structure is present there. That's why this portion is known as the glandular epithelium, and it helps to provide the certain secretions. Secretion means it is also releasing the certain kinds of the enzymes, and plus it is also releasing the hormones. As you can see that the salivary gland which helps to secrete the saliva in our mouth, and sweat glands, they help to release the sweat in our body. And next we will discuss about the some types of the junctions. As you know that the 3 types of the junctions are there: tight junctions, gap junctions and the adhering junctions. Gap junctions are those which are providing the gap between the two cells. As we have discussed about, the epithelial cells are those cells which are the tightly or closely packed with one another, and they are having the very narrow intercellular spaces there. So how the material exchange get occur between the different types of the cell? Due to the presence of these junctions. What is the function of gap junction? Gap junction is that which is providing the gap like structure, and they provide the exchange of the material from one cell to the another. And tight junction, they also help in binding of the cells tightly together, and adhering junctions, they are also providing the cells to adhere to one another. So this is all about the epithelial tissue. Next, what are the functions of the epithelial tissue? first function is that of the protection, because whole body organs or the parts, they are covered with the epithelial tissue. As you know that epithelial tissue, it is the outermost covering of our body. That's why it is also known as the first line of the defense. First line of defense means any type of the microorganism, when it try to enter in our body, first of all it always come in the contact of the epithelial tissue. That's why it is known as the first line of defense, because it helps to protect our body from any kind of the infection. Second is the absorption, because as we know that epithelial tissue is present in the digestive tract, and it helps to absorb the water and nutrients from that area, and that's why it is also play important role in the absorption. As you know that we have discussed about the epithelial tissue is having the ciliated or the microvilli like structure. And microvilli, what are the microvilli? They are the finger like structures that help to increase the surface area for the absorption of the food. Third is the secretion. We have discussed about that the epithelial tissue, it is present in the salivary gland or in the sweat glands. It means they are also providing a certain type of the secretion is there. And the last one is the sensation. Sensation means the tactile receptors or the touch receptors. They are just like our skin or in the nose or in the tongue. They all parts are covered with the epithelial tissue, and these tissue also help in the tasting of our food, and they are helping receiving the sensation from the different parts of the body. Thanks and have a nice day.